Hey guys, it's Brian, and today I present to you a 52-inch FASCO Charleston ceiling fan. This is a first generation Charleston, and you can tell it's a first generation from the early 80s. It has the flat motor housing instead of the more angled one like the second and third generation, and these blade badges are key to first generation Charlestons only. Also, it has a J-hook mount instead of a ball socket. It's a 3-speed reversible fan. The reverse switch is on top of the motor. Some of the second and third generation fans have them inside the motor vents. This one has it on top of the motor. Cosmetically, it's in okay shape. It needs to be cleaned up, obviously. I just got it from Habitat, so it's not, just for testing purposes, I just hung it up. It's got some scrapes on the blades. You know, I can easily fix that. No big deal. The motor itself is actually in really good shape. I mean, it's cosmetically, there's no rust or anything on it. It's in really good shape. It just needs to be cleaned up. There are some rusty screws on the blade arms though, which is really no big deal. Mechanically, it really does not run that great, and I will go ahead and show you. We'll start it out on low. It's got bad bearings, so they do have some chatter to it, and low speed is actually pretty slow, slower than a normal FASCO Charleston. As a matter of fact, I think it's probably going to stall on low. Yep. So I don't know what's going on there, but we'll go ahead and flip it to medium. And that humming noise you're hearing is the banana fan. Something is making the switch housing vibrate. I think it might be the motor shaft or the flywheel. But I tried tightening that light kit down as best I could. It's all the way tight and it still does that. And you can hear the bearing chatter. So they might just need oil or maybe a replacement, I don't know. But that's gonna drive me crazy. Let's go up to high. It's got a little bit of a wobble to it, not that much. It did have a couple of bent blades when I got it from Habitat. One of them was bent down pretty badly, and I managed to put that back as best I could, but it obviously needs a little bit more balancing. Go ahead and shut it off. It's gonna drive me crazy, that vibrating. So obviously, mechanically, it needs some work. But I was really excited to pick this up from Habitat because I've never owned a first generation Charleston, and those are my favorite. FASCO Charlestons are the first generation ones because of these blade arms, or blade badges rather. I've always loved this style. So obviously it needs mechanical work. A little backstory about this. I first saw one of these when I was a kid. I had a friend who I went to, I think it was either preschool or kindergarten with, and his parents had one of these in their sunroom, and it was a white blade, antique brass, first generation Charleston, and it had a big round globe on it. And I remember that globe being broken. It was like half of it was there with like jagged edges, and the other half was like on the floor. Supposedly the kids were screwing around with a basketball and they hit it and broke the globe, but it was like that for the longest time. And I remember that fan being there. And then I also remember this exact looking fan being in another friend's home in their kitchen, and it always fascinated me, the look of it, because I had seen plenty of second and third gen Charlestons growing up in the 90s, but a first gen was really cool because it was early 80s with those blade badges. And also there's a ski resort up in Pennsylvania called Seven Springs, and there's a bunch of these first gen Charlestons there throughout the place in the lodge. I don't know if they're still there or not, but I remember as a kid being an avid skier, seeing a lot of these. And also in Westlake, in my hometown, there's a garden center called Gales that has a bunch of these first gen Charlestons and second gen Charlestons throughout the building. And I'll put some pictures of those on the Ceiling Fan forums. But yeah, this one obviously needs some work, but I'm pretty excited to have it. So hope you guys enjoyed. Keep watching, more videos to